Amazing. So yeah, I'm Mira. I'm a third year film practice student, and I'm running a student communities officer because when I arrived to university, I really struggled to find a sense of belonging and a sense of community. So with this role, I really want to create this feeling of being part of something bigger for all students. And the way I want to do that is to give more access to spaces for students to put on their own events, their own whatever they actually like need and want. I want to find ways to reach students who don't feel identified or who don't feel represented, and give them a voice, because university is for everyone, it's for every single student. Um, I want to amplify the existing campaigns, liberation campaigns, and I also want to create more because, as I said before, it's important that every single student in this university feels part of something. And also want to help with the cost of living crisis because the prices at the university are really high. So by campaigns and events where students can help each other out. That's me.
Great. Thank you. We're just going to spotlight the next candidate. Okay, Alyshia, same. You have 1 minute to deliver your speech when you start talking.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Alyshia and I'm in final year of performance design and practice at CSM. And as communities officer for next year, my main goals would be to increase funding on liberation periods, most notably Black History Month, which I've done over the past couple of years, which upholds UAL to their pledges of anti-racism and decolonization goals. I would also like to continue to produce community-focused events, but just a focus on joy being at the center of everything we do, because I think we're all here because we love art and we love creativity. So I want to make sure that's at the center of everything, but also make sure there's a more streamlined support system within UAL, in particular for concerns and complaints from students of marginalized communities. And of course, address the cost of living crisis, because ensuring that UAL implements their proposed plans and support schemes, because uni isn't fun when you're broke. So that's it.
Great. Thank you. I'm just going to change spotlighting. Doo-doo-doo. Fabulous. And then David, the same. Once you start talking, you'll have 1 minute to deliver your speech.
Right. Hi, so I'm David Povilaika, and I am a third-year design management student. And for the past year, I actually have been working with the student union. I was the photographer, so many people have probably seen me. And I got to see the events from behind the scenes and what happens at the union. And I got to see the things that work really fabulously and things that, were kind of neat improvement. And I think most importantly, I got the opportunity to meet people and meet a lot of people and connect with them and see that people just want to be represented. They want to be heard. They want to be listened to. And I'm passionate about making that happen. I think the union is our organization, and I think it shouldn't be just another thing. It should be the main thing that we have control of. And I have several different goals, but specifically, I want to make sure that people get the chance to talk to their union. I want to grow the community. I mean, people don't know that things are happening. That has to change. We have to make sure that people are made aware.
Great. Thank you. Cool. So we'll now move on to the questions. The running order for this first question will be Mira, Alyshia, and then David. I'll repeat the question each time once I spotlight you, just so you don't have to worry about remembering it. Cool. So the first question is, what do you think are the main issues facing UAL students?
Okay, so while talking to students, an issue that came across a lot was the access to spaces and facilities. It's really difficult for students to access them, especially from like different campuses. And for example, we even like students are not properly informed about facilities and things they can use. And another issue is, as I said before as well, the cost of living crisis. Because the uni is very expensive and there's nothing to help students with.
Great, thank you. I will just sort of change the spotlight. And Alyshia, same question. What do you think are the main issues facing UAL students?
I think that different students have different problems with UAL, but from my point of view, the decolonization would be my main priority, because a lot of things stems down to decolonization, whether that is the education and the lectures being outdated, whether that is the inequality in funding, all stems down to decolonization and active anti-racism. So I think that would be my main goal to help.
Great, thank you. And I'm just going to move on. And David, same question. What do you think are the main issues facing UAL students?
So I think there's no denying that the cost of living has been a point for all of us, and that's not helped by the fact that the university is actually not listening to students, whether that be finance or whether that be faces. And I think the job of the union here is to actually make sure that we fight much harder to represent the students and make sure that what they want us to represent them on, that's exactly what we do. So I think those are the listening is the core one.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to the second question, and the running order will be Alyshia, David, and Mira. So I will just spotlight. And the second question, just I'll repeat it again for everyone as always. What is one way you would improve the community experience at UAL?
For me personally, I think that a lot of campuses are very separate and they're very individual. So I personally focus on making sure there's more of a community spirit throughout UAL and making sure that there's cross collaboration between campuses, between courses, to really make UAL one uni as opposed to 6 separate campuses.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to David. The same question. What is one way you would improve the community experience at UAL?
So I think the union has to grow. Obviously, we have to make sure that we include people from various backgrounds, that, for example, be international students who are left on the side as any other group. And we really need to make sure that they're part of building, part of planning, and part of deciding on things. It's really, those core elements of the union. And give them more autonomy to plan things, to build things, we have to trust the students. And I think it's about getting out there and talking and making sure that people are heard. It's really important.
Great, thank you. And Mira, same question. What is one way you would improve the community experience at UAL?
So yeah, other than having bigger societies and clubs, something very important would be to organize more events, especially solidarity events, where students can get together, meet each other, so make new friends, but also support each other with any issues they're having. And it's important for us as well as the union to know what the problems students are facing. So it's for us and for students to help each other out. So that I think would be very important to have.
Great, thank you. That was the second question. We'll move on to the third and final question, and the running order will be David, Mira, and Alyshia. So I'm just going to spotlight. And the question is, how will you support UAL's different clubs, societies, and liberation groups?
So we have to make sure that societies and clubs are kept affordable at the university, and we have to give a chance for societies to talk to real people at the union who are willing to listen. And I think we have to make sure they don't limit societies on what they want to participate in and what they want to do. I think a lot of times we need, and this is what I heard from societies, whether it be guidance and planning or whether it be financial assistance, it's very important that we provide that so they can keep doing the amazing things that they're doing.
Great, thank you. And Mira, same question. How will you support UAL's different clubs, societies, and liberation groups?
Something very important that I really want to do is to listen to their needs and then try with all the facilities that we have, with all the resources that we have to get to what they want the best way possible. So just really listen to them and their needs and what they want to achieve. And my role is to help them achieve that.